Cage DM Natan, and yeah, I promised an episode the day after my last one, but as you guys can tell, I'm kind of stuffed up in my nose, so it's been battling a cold past few days, so haven't been able to get a show out, but yeah, I'm able to get this one out today, and yeah, I plan on telling a couple of stories today, but or more than one story today, but I think I'll just go one at a time and kind of save them all for later. Oh, excuse me. No, but at any rate, uh, truthfully, this one, it was the last adventure I ran. It was the only full adventure I had run, and I had modified it. It was the Twisting Halls out of the Red Box from the DM's Guide, from the 4th edition Red Box. Yeah, I had run that one, and I tweaked it as we went because I had plans on making Malorith, the main guy in the Twisting Halls, a heroic tier villain, the final heroic tier villain. Let me rephrase that. For the sake of having a big time villain. And I'd done a whole bunch of manipulation of how things go, and I changed one of the encounters at least because it required that chess movement in the chessboard. I took that out and just put in a dragon attack. Dragon attack from a fledgling black dragon that had been experimented upon. And that's gonna actually, if there's a way to keep that with continuity, if I'm able to get back to that story, then then at the very least, dragons are gonna have a huge hand in the fall of Malorith. But I'm getting ahead of myself there. But I've been running Twisting Halls, and at one point in Twisting Halls, you you come across a white dragon a fledgling white dragon, a young one. Hey, you're supposed to fight or talk down and get past him. Um, I already knew I was going to be doing a huge amount of modifications. Uh, the tweaking of Malorith was going to make that fight a little harder. Um, although I wasn't entirely sure how that was going to go. Um, what I ended up doing was, I got the party the party ended up talking the dragon into joining. And, of course, at the time, I was also DM and player characters over the course of that same campaign at the same time. Which, truth be told, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. But at any rate, I took what the party had gotten the dragon to join, and I was like, okay, it's gonna get crazy. So, we went past where the dragon's treasure was. It was locked behind a vault that the dragon had sealed up, and it really, the dragon was a huge help all the way up to the room where I automatically knew was the last one I could go through because of the size of the doors. I couldn't keep pushing the dragon through all those. So, the last encounter that the dragon was in, I killed him off uh, in the aftermath in order to further incite the players against Malorith and start really developing him as a big, oh, we gotta kill this guy, big time villain. And ultimately, after the fight with Malorith, turned out he had a decoy there that was a Dragonborn bard, but before any kind of information could be gotten out of him, Malorith offed him, so left the party a little angry. They found a skull and book for the Cult of Orcus, and the skull was really what everyone was after to begin with going into the Twisting Hall. So, uh, they got that and they got a book surrounding details on the skull, and they went back with the dragon that had helped them. They had gotten his body, taken it back to his lair, where his little treasure trove was. Inside the lair, and this was a big mistake. Um, I had I had it to where there was way too many astral diamonds. Like the dragon was so young, there's no way he could have gotten that many astral diamonds. But and astral diamonds are 100 platinum coins, which is 100 gold coins. So that's 100 grand in gold. And at the time, I mean, like, one astral diamond is going to get you any number of magic items, or it'll get you any number of supplies for any number of days, or dungeons. It'll get you a ship, it'll get you a horse, whatever. Stuff you shouldn't have that early in the game if you're just now getting level 2. One of my guys who's a rogue, one of the guys in the party, he was a rogue, or a thief rather. Actually, I think he was just an assassin. I don't remember which of the three he was, but first thing he did was he just ran in there and just started shoving as many of the astral diamonds as he could, because they don't weigh as much as gold coins and platinum coins. So it's just like he was just shoving all that in his bags, like doing everything he can. And then as soon as he hit 100 in the bag, I was like, nope, you can't get any more. I was like, alright, as soon as you get to 100, anything afterwards just vanishes before you can get it in there. And he's like, oh, darn it. And, I planned on, if that group kept going, one of them dropped out because it just wasn't his thing anymore. At least one other kind of lost interest, and I stopped trying, but now I'm trying to get that group back together, at least 3 of them. It was a 4-person group, aside from myself. But I'm going to try and get 3 of the group back together and run adventures. If not, I've got a way to get 4 people in, depending on how it works out. But at the very least, I planned on as a hook for the next adventure. I had planned on the group finding out that some of the stuff they had gotten from the Dragon's Treasure Trove was stolen. Like, in the Twisting Halls altogether was stolen. Like, they were going to lose the skull, they were going to lose the book, the rogue was going to lose all his astral diamonds, because I was not going to let him keep all that. I mean, I shouldn't have even let him get one. That should have been behind a lot of security. There should have been a lot of pitfalls in there. And very hard skill challenges. But I did not think about that, and it came back to haunt me. So, really the moral of that is, because the whole point was the fact that I gamed too much too early. And that group was already crazy, so I know eventually, at some point, if I bring out a deck of many things, oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy. But, at the very least, don't give them the ability to get a whole bunch too quick. Like, you gotta spread that out. Like, at most, they should come away with like 50 gold each from the Dragon's Treasure Trove. Max, like the 4 actual party members. And something about the final battle, real quick, with Malorith, the fake Malorith that they had. One of my characters, the healer of the group, okay? This guy was the cleric, the healer. At one point, he was taking on the hulking zombie that's in there. And the zombie's got a move called Slam. My first reaction, he grabs hold of Natan, the Deva cleric healer. The Deva cleric, he was a war priest, more specifically. But the hulking zombie grabbed hold of him, and imagine Hulk versus Loki in Avengers, okay? Boom, 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 boom. And then Loki's like, ow, or whimpers or whatever it is he does. I mean, it's just, that's the scene, okay, pretty much. That's the picture I painted for the players. Cause I really wanted to kill off the Deva, cause I knew he'd just come back, with a different story, different way of going forward. Still was gonna be a cleric, a war priest. Was actually gonna change the deity to Erathis, because he's an Earth Domain priest, or no, he's a Domination Domain, my bad. I've forgotten he was Domination Domain. So, but, oh man, now that I realize that, holy crap. That's another story for another time. But, yeah, don't give your players too much too quick, because, they'll definitely take advantage of that in a heartbeat. So, best bet is to just, don't give more than a gold per fight. I mean, you know, in fact, if they start off with 100 gold in order to get their gear, I mean, to me, I think that's a little crazy, but, you know, that's because of all the MMOs I play, so. But yeah, it's been, KHDM, and I guess I'm back in the cage till next time, so, catch y'all later.